It's my birthday, April 11th, 2015. Skiing at Hunter Mountain today, just finishing up for the day. My son and I were here. Great birthday. Day's not over. People ask me, Marcus, how do you shop healthy for your kids? How do you go to a grocery store and pick healthy foods? How do you do it? What's the secret to getting your kids to eat healthy? So when I go to the grocery store, I notice that 9 out of 10 times there, even 10 out of 10 times, people's baskets, their shopping carts are filled up with what their kids dictate, with what their kids want is what the parents put in the basket typically. Now, granted, if a kid wants, 10 candy bars, kid might not get 10 candy bars, but I'll tell you something, the kid might get 1 candy bar, the kid might get 1 bag of potato chips, the kid might get ice cream. So here's a tip on how to shopping healthy. Don't take your kids to the store. That's the bottom line. Don't take them. Because chances are you haven't trained your kids to eat right. You haven't trained your kids about good nutrition and good food. So it makes it difficult to take your kids to the store because all they know, or mostly what they know, is this crap food. This food that's processed, that has sugar, that has corn syrup, that has all these funky chemicals, that has all these dyes in it, that comes in all these packages. It's detrimental to their health. So we take time to train our dogs. We take time to train our spouses, or we think we're trying to train our spouses, right? We take time to do so many things, but we don't take time to train our kids how to eat and how to shop. And I think that's one of the biggest detriments of going grocery shopping is parents are afraid the kids are going to throw a tantrum in the grocery store. So they just succumb to it and just say, okay, I give up, I give in, or this is what I'll give you, or pick something out, and the kids dictate. So leave the kids at home. Don't bring them to the grocery store unless you've taught the kids proper nutrition. I gotta tell you, every time I went to the grocery store with my kids, I love going to the grocery store with my kids. I love it, love it, love it. Because they pick out healthy food. They're like, hey, Dad, let's get cantaloupes. Look, they're on sale. Or, Dad, look at those strawberries. Hey, Dad, can we get some blueberries or raspberries? I'm like, of course you can. That's what we're going to the store for. We're going to the store to buy food. We're not going to the store to buy crap. So it's a joy to go shopping with my kids because we're on the same wavelength. But that just didn't happen. It didn't happen by chance. It took years of hard work. But it took work from the very beginning. And it took work for me saying to my parents, to my wife's parents, this is how we eat. This is what we do at our house. This is what's acceptable. And teaching the kids, this is what is acceptable. And teaching the kids, this is bad food. This is food that we don't eat. But parents don't take the time to do that. Part of the reason is because parents don't want to do it themselves, right? Parents want that comfort food. Parents want the sugar. Parents want the white bread. Parents want the white pasta. Parents want the donuts and the croissants and the candy bars and the M&Ms and the Hershey's Kisses. So what do the kids see? The kids are so impressionable and so moldable that they're doing what you're doing. And of course, they're doing what kids at school are doing. And they're doing what teachers, I'm shocked how many times I'd have conversations with teachers, grade school teachers for my kids. My kids don't get candy. I don't care if they got 100 on a test. You don't give them chocolate. Give them a piece of fruit. I'll send you something to give them. I'll send you dried figs. My kids love dried figs. They love dried dates. They think that's like a great snack, a great present, a great reward. Give them an apple. My son will eat 2-3 apples you give him. But don't give them candy. So we're caught on this whole stage coming up, raising children, between us as parents and between the environment, teachers, in-laws, grandparents, other kids, that everybody's just bombarding. So you have to take time. It's no accident. If your kids eat healthy, it's no accident that they're eating healthy, okay? That took dedication. That took you fighting commercials on TV. It took you fighting these big food industries, that hire these hotshot marketers to market all their crap to kids during cartoons and during video games and apps and everything. These companies know what they're doing. They know they're undermining our health. And they've convinced the majority of the people that, hey, it's okay for a teacher to give candy because a kid scores high on a test. Or when you go to the bank, you get a lollipop, right? You take the kid to the bank, you get a lollipop. Remember those days? And I remember my mom was like, no, he doesn't want a lollipop. And granted, my mom didn't raise me the healthiest, but we never overdid it on sugar. We never overdid it on soda. But it was like when we go to the bank, it's like, why would you give your kid a lollipop for going to the bank? What are you rewarding the kid for? Take him to the store and show him how to shop. Take him to a farmer's market. Grow your own stuff. Show them the joys of going out and picking apples and pears and peaches and raspberries and strawberries. Go foraging. My kids know what's edible in our lawn. I taught them at a very early age what they could eat in our lawn. Now, of course, we don't spray our lawn, but most parents say, well, we want a weed-free lawn, and we want, a lawn that looks good, and it's got to look as good as the neighbor's lawn. It's got to look better than the neighbor's lawn. I don't care what my lawn looks like. It's green, and it's got a lot of stuff in it, and I mow it. Gets mowed, it's short, it doesn't get out of hand. But you could walk in my yard and juice the grasses, and you can eat a lot of the vegetation. My kids learned at an early age what you could eat in the yard, right? If you're teaching them what to eat in the yard, they're not gonna go to the store to eat candy bars, right? And of course, I had family members that ridiculed me for that. That's so dangerous. You're teaching them what to eat in the yard, right? That's so dangerous. I'm like, dangerous? What do you mean dangerous? This stuff is unaltered, unadulterated. It's organic. It's in its pure natural form. It's wild form. What do you mean? Well, they're not going to know. They're not going to know, maybe someday what not to eat, right? They're going to pick the wrong thing. I'm like, no, you teach them. And first of all, 95% of the Earth's vegetation is edible. Okay, so 95% is edible. I didn't say it was palatable. I didn't say it was good, but it's edible. It's not going to hurt you. So yeah, you teach your kids what poison ivy is and not to eat poison ivy and not to touch poison ivy, right? You teach your kids that. So you have to take the time and educate your kids on food. And if you're not willing to do that, don't take them shopping because they're going to undermine you, and they know how to do it at a very young age. Kids are given sugar in all their food at a very young age. I'm talking about refined sugar. I'm talking about white sugar. I'm talking about corn syrup. It's put into the baby formulas. It's put into all the food. I'm not talking about natural fruit that has fructose in its real form, in its whole form. That's totally different than the sugar I'm talking about. I'm talking about the nasty, refined, empty calorie carbohydrate of white table sugar. That's what I'm talking about. And corn syrup and white flour and trans fats and all this other junk. So if you're not willing to teach your kids about that, then don't take them shopping. They don't belong in a shopping mart because you as a parent have not shown them, have not given them the proper tools. You teach your kids how to cross the street, right? You take all this emphasis on crossing the street, look both ways, this and that, and go with somebody who's older than you to cross the street. When you ride a bike, then show them in the grocery store the same things. Show them what's acceptable and show them what's not acceptable. It's not acceptable to cross the street when there's a car coming. Well, it's not acceptable to go to the store and just throw a fit and want candy bars and want soda and want donuts. It's not acceptable. My kids don't even know what those candy bars are. At 8 years old, at 9 years old, my son was asking us, what's this? What's that? Because he was curious. But it wasn't because he wanted to eat it. He just was like, hey, what is that? It's sitting on the shelf there. We walked past it, for years. What is it? I remember one time he asked what a Mars bar was or something. He must have been 8 years old or something. I go, yes, I've done my job. As a parent, I've done my job. I've educated my kids, and I've beaten society's message. I've beaten the big manufacturer's message. I've gone against what everybody's saying. It's like, man, that's when you're like, wow, that feels freaking great. That feels awesome. Feels awesome as a parent to accomplish that and to see your kids. I take my kids grocery shopping and say, load up on the fruit, right? I tell them, because we own a restaurant, hey, what do you guys want me to order from the produce company? They're like, get a case of mangoes, Dad. Get some watermelons. Do they have lychee nuts in season yet? It's like, yeah, that's what it's about. How about those mandarins, those tangerines? They have kiwis. They have organic kiwis. They had strawberries. And it's like, yeah, that's what it's about. Once you get the kids involved in buying food and purchasing food and showing them how to pick out food, they're going to eat healthier anyway because they're picking it out. They're now in control. They're in control of you anyway, right? They're in control of you whether you realize it or not. Just like an a dog that's not trained, like an untrained dog. All right, they control you. You walk into the grocery store and they're controlling. I see it all the time. Go next time you go to the grocery store, just look at parents and the kids. They control what's going in the shopping carts. It might have just started out like, oh, let's buy this once, let's buy this twice. But once you do that, you've shown your kids that it's okay to do that. You've set that example that, hey, it's okay to buy Eggo waffles. It's okay to buy Frosted Flakes. It's okay to do that. And once you've taught them that, they're going to use that as leverage. That's all leverage you're going to use against you. Now, we're all not stupid. Parents are not stupid. Parents say, oh, it's not going to hurt. When parents say, oh, Marcus, I even have family members today say, oh, Marcus, I understand what you're saying about sugar, but I totally disagree with you on white sugar. I totally disagree with you on that. The reason why you disagree with me is because you don't want to work at it. You don't want to be able to have to think harder than you have to. You have to put more time than you have to into picking your kids' meals. And that's what it is. Or making your kids' meals. You don't want to. That's the bottom line. Because you know that sugar is not. I mean, I have people that swear to me that sugar is not the problem. White sugar is not the problem. White sugar, this or that. No, you do know. You're just being lazy and you're not willing to face the facts, to take your own responsibility for your child's health. You're not willing to just own up to it. You're not willing to. That's the bottom line. It's that simple. So train your kids. You train your dog. You train other things. You train your kids how to eat properly. It's going to make a world of difference. My kids are 12 and 15. My son's never been on antibiotics. They've never had ear infections. My daughter was on antibiotics once when she was 6 because she had a very, very severe case of Lyme disease when she was 6 years old. But other than that, they don't go to the doctor for sick visits. They don't know what bronchitis is. They don't know what pneumonia is. They don't know what strep throat is. They don't know what it's like to miss school and have to go to a doctor and sit in a doctor's office because you're sick. They have no idea what it's like. And, it's like, wow, I've done my job. I've totally done my job, and it feels so good. And other parents look at us and say, wow, I could never do what you do. Of course you do. You got the internet. You can teach yourself. You got Google. You can go find the information. There's holistic doctors on there. There's nutritionists on there that are doing the right thing. You can surround yourself and around people that are doing this. And you can do it. It's that easy. And your kids will love it. Your kids will thank you for it. Trust me, your kids will thank you for it. Kids go to my kids all the time for advice on nutrition, and they come to our house and they want to eat what we have. And that's when you really know you're successful, when the other kids want to come to your house to eat the food that's at your house. So that's how you shop healthy. Train your kids or don't take them to the grocery store. I'm Chef Marcus Giuliano. Thanks for watching this. If you like my videos, please hit like, subscribe to my channel, and definitely pass it on. And it's time to leave Hunter Mountain for the day. We were skiing all day there. Last day, April 11th, 2015.